For Donald Trump, many other voters doubt that he could be trusted with having control over the nuclear weapons program in the United States. The next U.S. president will have near him, or near his briefcase, I should say, something that is dubbed as the nuclear football. Our Brian Todd has more from Washington.
Just a few feet from the president, no matter where the commander-in-chief happens to be, a military aide carries a briefcase. It's nicknamed the football, and the power this satchel can unleash is legendary.
Immense, unprecedented power. The United States currently, right now, deploys approximately 900 nuclear warheads that are on the order of 10 to 20 times more powerful than the weapons that destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
5 military aides, one from each branch of the armed forces, work in a rotation carrying the football. For 3 years, as a young Marine major, Pete Metzger carried the nuclear football for President Reagan. The responsibility can be nerve-wracking.
I wouldn't say I was on edge, but I was very, very, very focused on what I was going to do. I mean, the time is so short between alert and execution. You have to be ready any time for any moment. And that's why one of us was always in very close proximity to the president.
Metzger says there's a separate football for the vice president if the commander-in-chief becomes incapacitated. How does it compare to this? Bigger, heavier?
It's somewhat longer, a little bit wider, and somewhat heavier.
Inside the case, he says, there's communication equipment. Metzger won't discuss the other contents. But Bill Gully, a former director of the White House Military Office, described in his book 4 crucial components inside. A so-called black book listing strike options for retaliation if the U.S. is attacked with nuclear weapons. A book listing bunker locations where the president can be taken in an emergency. A manila folder listing procedures for the emergency broadcast system. And a small card with authentication codes to verify it's the president ordering a nuclear launch.
That is known as the Biscuit. Some other interesting name.
Hillary Clinton says Donald Trump doesn't have the right temperament to be trusted with the nuclear launch codes.
Anyone who can be provoked by a tweet should not be anywhere near nuclear weapons.
Trump has vehemently refuted that. Metzger says to carry the football, he had to undergo rigorous background checks by the military, Secret Service, and FBI. It included extensive psychiatric screening.
The result of a decision the president would make is so grotesquely horrible, so grotesquely horrible. It would change the face of the earth. It would change humanity, it would change mankind. And I guess when you're on duty, you try not to think about the import of that, but you're fully prepared to do so if you have to.
If the president decides to use the football and actually launch a nuclear strike, is there anyone in the chain of command who can stop that order? The White House won't comment on that, but Pete Metzger and other experts tell us that unless there's a full-on mutiny, no one can stop that order. Brian Todd, CNN, Washington.
Brian, thank you. Now on to South Africa.